Why do men prefer financially stable women? Some of the shit y'all post on the internet. Oh my god. Oh my god. How do you even respond to that? It's so stupid. How do you even respond to that? Why do men prefer financially stable women? Like, I'm being so honest, it's so stupid that I don't know how to respond to it. What do you even say to that? Like, the answer just seems so blatantly obvious. I'm like, where do I start? It's probably not much different for why women prefer financially stable men. It's probably not much different than that. I prefer a financially stable woman because she has her own autonomy and she is not financially dependent on me. There's no world where that's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing when she has her finances in order. We're in a horrible economy. We're in an economy where the majority of people are in two-income households. If we're in a two-income household and you're not financially stable, we're going to have a bit of a problem, right? So I like having financial stability so I'm able to live in my house, so I'll be able to raise my kids, so I'll be able to eat and have food. I like to eat, I like to sleep, and without financial stability, those things are very hard to do. And I also want to raise children. That would also be very hard to do without financial stability. What else? If somebody doesn't have financial stability, let's say hypothetically they have a lot of debt, I don't want to take on my partner's lot of debt because I feel like that's their responsibility. So if you're coming into a relationship and you have a lot of debt, indirectly that's going to partially become my responsibility, especially if that affects your capacity to pay your financial portion of the relationship. So if somebody has a lot of financial debt and they're coming into a relationship, that would be a very big turnoff for me, frankly, because of the fact that I don't want to take the responsibility of your past decisions. I wouldn't go into a relationship with like 60K of debt and say, oh, you got to help me pay off my debt, by the way. Or, oh, I can't pay my financial obligations because I have so much debt and I got to pay off this debt, so I can't afford to pay my portion of the relationship. It's just a relationship is predicated on a lot of things. There's emotional connections, but there's also a lot of responsibilities we have to a relationship that have nothing to do with emotions and that have nothing to do with romance. And one of those responsibilities, one of those fundamental duties and responsibilities we have in the context of a relationship is financial responsibility. And it will be very hard to maintain a relationship if you're not financially responsible. That's just a fact of the matter. So, I mean, what else is there to even say? Why wouldn't you prefer a financially stable woman? Why would you... I guess the better question would be to ask, why would you want a financially unstable woman? Because what's appealing about that? What's appealing about a financially unstable partner? And we don't even need to talk about the genders because it's irrelevant. It's just practically irrelevant. Like, nobody wants a financially unstable partner. Even the people that are with financially unstable partners, they don't want that. The people that are with financially unstable partners, for the most part, are with those people in spite of their financial instability. They're not attracted to it. There's probably nobody in the world. Okay, there might be one person in the world that has like some kind of a weird attraction, because as soon as you say never, you find the one person that's attracted to the weirdest thing in the world. But I'm going to say the majority, like 99.99999% of people are not attracted to financial instability because there's just no pros of it. It literally doesn't bring anything positive to the relationship, and it only brings negatives. So I guess the better question would be, why wouldn't you prefer it? Why would you prefer something that brings good things and doesn't bring bad things? Financial stability brings nothing but positives to the relationship. Financial instability does the exact opposite of that. Financial instability brings nothing but negatives to the relationship. So why would men prefer something that brings positives to the relationship versus something that brings negatives to the relationship? That's basically what you're asking, and quite frankly, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. And it makes me question the United States education system. And, you know, we shouldn't even blame the United States education system for this, because it's like basic common sense. It takes 2 seconds of thinking. Okay, what are the benefits of financial stability in a relationship? What are the cons? Like, I feel like I'm dragging this out. Like, what is there to say? I guess I could also add, if a woman is not financially stable, it makes me feel like she might be more shallow. Not always necessarily, but if she comes to me and has this expectation that I'm going to financially take care of her and I'm going to do everything for her, it's a little bit more shallow. I'm going to be completely honest about that. And I know a lot of people want this. I'm not shaming you. If you want a man to financially provide for you, that is your right. As a human being with autonomy and the right to choose in your own personal adult relationships, I'm not shaming you, but I'm just telling you how that would make me feel. If I was in a relationship with a girl and she wanted me to pay all her bills and do everything for her, I would feel like she's using me as an ATM, as a bank account. And personally, I don't like that. I'm a human being and I want somebody to be with me because they love me for me. They love my personality. And I want a person that will be by my side when I'm at my bottom, and that's also going to be there when I'm at the top. I don't want somebody that's only there when I'm at the top or only there when I have something that I could give for them. And I think the fact that we've normalized those kinds of relationships is a horrible thing because we're kind of dehumanizing men. You're not looking at him as a man. You're looking at him as a human bank account. Not even a bank account, because a bank account insinuates that it's your money. I don't even know what the analogy would be for it, because a lot of women are with men, and they're like, you got to pay for everything. And if you can't pay for everything, I don't want to be with you. So it's like, that's the most important element. It's almost like we're not human beings at that point. We have been completely dehumanized. And it's crazy, because it's no different than the men that just want to fuck women, right? The fact, when a woman goes to a man, and all she wants from that man is his money. And she wants him to pay all her bills. Oh, pay for my nails, pay for my hair, pay my rent. And I don't want to provide anything in return financially. And if you can't do that, I'm leaving you. That's no different than the men that just want to go to women and just want to fuck them. And don't want to commit. It's no different because we're dehumanizing them. So let me break it down a little more simply so you understand the analogy, right? Some women that are gold diggers only want to be with men because of the fact that they get money from it, dehumanizing them. You're not looking at them for who they are as a person. You're looking at them for what they can do for you, for what they can provide. Just like how some men dehumanize women by only using women to fuck. It's no different because those men are only fucking those women because those women sexually get them off. And they want nothing else from those women. There are men that will fuck women that they don't want to date, some men will even tell you, I think this bitch is annoying. I think this bitch, I would never date this bitch. Some men are literally leading girls on just so they can constantly fuck them over and over again, dehumanizing them. You're looking at them as if they're a sex object, as a tool to get off your nut. Because after that, you're like, I don't want to cuddle with this bitch. I don't want to spend no time with them. So I hate that we've created this culture where we've practically normalized dehumanizing men. Because when we go to men and we say, you got to provide all the finances, you have no value beyond that for me as a woman, we've created this culture where it's like, man, a lot of women don't value men for shit. They're not valuing us for who we are as people. So to me, it makes a lot of sense that this red pill movement has gained a lot of notoriety because, quite frankly, y'all aren't even looking at men as human beings. You're looking at them as, I really don't know what the analogy is. It's not a bank account. It's not an ATM that gives out free money. Like, it's horrible. And I hate that we've normalized this in the context of a relationship. It's so horrible. And I guess the last thing I could add for why this would be bad, I'm surprised, honestly. This is so stupid. I'm surprised I've been able to rant about this for this long. It quite potentially is a red flag of financial irresponsibility. So when people come into a relationship, the status of their financial... So when people come into a relationship, their financial status tells you just a bit about them. And somebody who has taken on a lot of debt quite possibly could be very financially irresponsible. Now, it doesn't always mean that. Sometimes people go through a hardship. Maybe they lost a job. Maybe that they went through some financial crisis. But it quite potentially showcases a financial irresponsibility. So I would be less inclined to want to date a woman like that, because when you're in a relationship, our finances are connected together. So your financial irresponsibility could affect me, especially if you expect me to take on more of the financial responsibility than you, because you're spending my money. So if you come and you don't have your own money and you are financially irresponsible, that shit's gonna fuck up my financial status. I've been in a relationship in the past where my financial stability was fucked up from my partner's financial irresponsibility. So if somebody comes into my relationship and they have a lot of debt, it's a potential red flag because you might have accrued that debt because of your financial irresponsibility, and your lack of financial stability could affect me in the long term. And sometimes I just don't want to be a part of that. I don't want you to take me down. I've worked to get up, and I don't want to go down because you're not financially responsible. So hopefully that helped with your stupid question, because there's probably more shit I can't even think about, but it's just so simple because, like, why would we want that? Why would anybody want a woman who is not financially responsible, financially stable? It makes no sense. So